Yes, ladies and gentlemen, episode 114 of the Journey's anime titled Fire Training Battle. Ash vs. Paul just dropped, and in this episode, Ash and Paul have a 3-on-3 battle at Professor Oak's lab. How will it go? Who'll win? Let's find out. Ash's Pokemon are training at Cerise' lab as he's trying to figure out how to fire up his Pokemon for the Master's 8. When Oak calls Ash though, he gets the idea to use his older Pokemon to motivate his current team. Once he arrives at Oak's lab, he's greeted by all of his Pokemon who are happy to see him again. He then tells them about the Master's 8 and all the Pokemon get fired up. Water Pokemon fire out water moves, grass Pokemon fire out grass moves, and fire type Pokemon fire out fire moves. And while the fire Pokemon are doing that, Gengar comes down and touches Infernape and gets burned and sends him flying towards the forest. There, before it lands, it gets hit by a thunderbolt by an Electivire. Ouch. Turns out it's Paul. After discussing the heat that Gengar's body has, Paul tells Ash to let the other fire types help train it, not him, because this is a Pokemon ranch where Pokemon can help each other. Goh then learns a bit about Ash and Paul's history, and Ash decides to challenge Paul, who's not going to be involved in the Master's 8. Paul accepts, but he says he wants it to be a 3-on-3 with no switching and Ash using his Master's 8 Pokemon. As Ash is going back to grab his Pokemon, we see Gengar train with the fire type, and eventually it's able to learn will-o-wisp and use it. So that's that. Now, it's on. Paul begins this 3-on-3 with Gyarados and Ash starts with Lucario. It's a battle of double teams and Ice Fangs and Hyper Beam, and after baiting out a Hyper Beam by Gyarados, it looks like Lucario is going to be attacked with the Aura Sphere from behind when Gyarados grabs it with its tail in midair even when immobilized. Then it begins using Ice Fangs while having Lucario caught, but Lucario gets out using Steel Beam, and we see that it's learned Bullet Punch, meaning now its moveset is Aura Sphere, Double Team, Bullet Punch, and Steel Beam. And with that, it charges in with a Bullet Punch against Gyarados while Gyarados uses Hyper Beam. However, since Hyper Beam is a normal type move and Gyarados is a Steel type, Hyper Beam is not as effective, so Lucario comes out on top. Next up, we get Dragonite vs Garchomp, and this is a pretty easy win for Paul's Garchomp. Although we do get to see that Ash is able to use Draco Meteor in a unique way here, having Dragonite fly with it to attack head on. However, it doesn't really matter as Paul's Garchomp is too powerful, and with its Dragon Claw, Stone Edge, and Draco Meteor combo, it's able to KO Dragonite. Seeing Paul have a Garchomp makes me sad since Ash is never going to evolve as Gible. And on top of that, Ash's Dragonite is now on a 2 losing streak, which sucks after it was such a powerhouse of his team for the longest time. Finally, we get Metagross vs Gengar. Metagross uses agility and is too fast for Gengar as it's hit by both a Comet Punch and a Psychic, and Paul taunts Ash saying if he can't beat him, he has no hope of beating the Master's 8. That's when Gengar's new move comes out. Gengar uses will-o-wisp on Metagross, which causes its next Comet Punch to not hit as hard due to the burn, so Ash is able to finish it off with a Shadow Ball. After the battle, Goh realizes that Paul used all of the aces of the Master's 8, Gyarados, Garchomp, and Metagross, and Ash tells Paul that he wants to battle again in the future as Paul thanks the professor and walks away. We find out here from Professor Oak that the reason Paul was in the ranch is that Paul was asked to be a gym leader, so he wanted to learn a bit more about Pokemon. The episode ends with Ash's mom arriving to tell him to rest at his home along with Goh before heading to the Master's 8. And with that, that's the end of the episode. This is an overall fun episode. Each of Ash's Pokemon that participated in this battle learned either a new move or a new way to use its old move. While the battles were fine, I was surprised to see Ash's Dragonite lose like I mentioned earlier, but besides that, it was pretty fun overall. It was also fun to see all of Ash's previous Pokemon, especially since they actually did something this time instead of just being there. A whole bunch of his past Pokemon helped Ash's current team prepare for the Master's 8, and on top of that, we got an updated screenshot of all of Ash's Pokemon. That was fun to see. I'm glad we got this episode before the beginning of the Master's 8. It felt like it gave the Pokemon the training they needed while giving us a return that allowed us to see the growth of Paul. It was great. I really don't have much else to say about this episode because while this episode was simple in its premise, it was done well in its execution. Go ahead and check it out. I recommend it. Overall, an Ultra Ball episode. The next episode is the beginning of the Master's 8 and looks like we're starting the opening ceremony with Leon vs. Alon. I can't wait. But anyways, that is it for my review of episode 114 of the Journey's anime. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, like, share, subscribe in the comments. Let me know your thoughts on this episode. You can follow me on Twitter at TheRealPDGaming, and that is it. I will talk to you guys later. Peace.